Dr. Rice was an extraordinary person.
He believed in faith and family and education.
That we can lift up every student.
He always asked the important question, how will this help our students succeed?
Everybody should have a chance to make the best of whatever talents they have.
The programs honored today continue the great work of John W. Rice.
Good morning, everyone. What a beautiful turnout. And you're all so good at that, too. My name is Christina Janes, and I am thrilled to be your MC for this morning for the 19th annual Dr. John W. Rice Awards. What a beautiful day this is, and it's so nice to share this with all of you. For those of you that are local, you may recognize me if you turn your television sets on every once in a while. I am the evening anchor, or have been the evening anchor at CBS 13 for the last 9 years. So I am doing some fill-in for them these days as I spend a little more time with my family, but still love coming out and doing these community events on a regular basis. I do these events frequently, and I have to tell you, this one's near and dear to my heart. My mom and I both started our higher education journeys at community colleges. In fact, at Diablo Valley College in Pleasant Hills. So from the Bay Area originally, and a transplant here to Sacramento, and we absolutely love this area. But this is a beautiful event, and I'm thrilled to be here because it definitely has a personal connection for myself and for my family as a whole. The work that all of you do is certainly important, it's special, and it's really wonderful to see you all coming together for something so beautiful today. So we appreciate you all being here as we recognize the great work of two college programs, and we celebrate the legacy of Dr. John W. Rice. Now, Dr. Rice served as a board member, as many of you know, for the California Community Colleges for many years, and was a devoted advocate for higher education, for access, for diversity, and for equity as well. Now, it's been a pleasure to honor his legacy for the last 19 years by recognizing programs and individuals for the special work that they're doing. They strive to advance diversity and equity within the California Community Colleges system, just as he did, and the special work that he did that we are still honoring today, 19 years later. I'd like us to take a minute to watch the following video. It'll share with you his work, his life, and his legacy as well. So take a peek.
My father was born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Education was very strong in his family. He went to school to be a minister, but education was still burning in his heart.
I think my father was never 100% dedicated to just being a pastor. He wanted to do more. The offer to become Dean of Students at Stillman College was an opportunity to work with college students. He made his way from Stillman College to the University of Denver. When my father was just about to retire from the university, my mother died, and it was very difficult for him. He was such an energetic person. He was not going to sit home in his retirement, so he was making a new life in California, and he met my stepmother, Clara.
I met John through the passion of his education. When he moved from Denver to California to make it his home, that's where he really wanted to make a difference.
He got a call from Pete Wilson. Governor Wilson appointed him to the Board of Governors of the community college system, which he loved. The community colleges have a crucial, essential, and in fact unique role to play in making certain that people are able to say, I can come from humble circumstances and I can do great things.
He felt that education did make a difference in people's lives. They had more opportunities, especially minorities and those that was disadvantaged, that their lives could be better if they were educated.
This passion for diversity and equity, not only in education, but in every part of society, is reflected in Dr. Rice's lifetime work. While serving on the Board of Governors of the California Community Colleges, he was a tireless leader, innovator, spokesperson, and advocate for equal employment opportunities and non-discrimination in the nation's largest system of higher education.
I always call him my gentle giant. He's a gentle person, but he's a giant when it comes to his beliefs and what he believes in, and he is forceful.
My dad believed very strongly that everybody deserved access to a higher education. And he also believed that equal access was critical, but then you had to really work hard to make sure they succeeded because people started in different places.
To honor his commitment, the Dr. John W. Rice Award was established by the Board of Governors in 2001 to recognize system-wide and individual contributions toward diversity, equity, and student success. While past award winners include distinguished community college employees, districts, colleges, and programs, they all share a common goal of celebrating, enabling, and encouraging diversity and inclusion throughout our campuses. Individuals and teams helping single parents, minority students, formerly incarcerated individuals, active duty military and veterans, the hearing impaired, and many others have been celebrated. These awards recognize Gold Star efforts aimed at creating a welcoming and inclusive environment across all of our campuses and educational communities. Dr. Rice's influence and commitment to enhancing diversity and ensuring fairness are seen every day in the California community colleges, and his guiding principles serve as the backbone of the system's vision for success. A straightforward plan to ensure students from all backgrounds succeed in reaching their goals and improving their families' lives and their communities. Dr. Rice knew what makes community colleges remarkable is versatility. Our community colleges are the state's primary entry point into four-year degree programs. Dr. Rice deeply understood that our colleges are a source of lifelong learning opportunities for California's diverse communities, and encouraged the governing board to always ask the simple question: how will this policy or program help all students, regardless of their background, reach their desired educational goals? Our Board of Governors is proudly committed to recognizing individuals, teams, and programs that champion Dr. Rice's vision. Every day, in ways big and small, the California community colleges strive to uphold Dr. Rice's legacy of equity and diversity and his commitment toward creating a higher education system that truly serves all students regardless of race, socioeconomic standing, physical ability, or personal history. We continue to provide opportunities for every student to better their lives, realize lifelong dreams, and create shining futures.
And I just wished he was here to see these programs and to see them come together each year to share what they're doing. It just would warm his heart just to see that all of this is continuing.
My dad would be so proud, I'd like to think is proud, of the wonderful recipients of this award. The people who've won before and the people who will win going forward are the embodiment of that belief that human beings are hard to keep down. And if you just give them a way up, and education is a way up, they'll take it and they'll thrive.
Such a legacy, and so proud as well. This year, the Dr. John W. Rice Awards has expanded now from 1 to 2 categories. So things are a little different here. Diversity and equity and student success. Those are the 2 categories this year. Now, the winners being honored are Santa Barbara City College, their Learn program for diversity and equity, and the Completion Coaching Communities program at Bakersfield College for student success. Both of these programs continue Dr. Rice's unyielding effort to empower students who are traditionally underserved and provide them with support through their college years so that they can make a better life for themselves, so they can thrive. Before we hear from the colleges that we're honoring today, I would like to tell you a little bit more about the California Community College's Chancellor, Chancellor Eloy Ortiz Oakley. Chancellor Oakley first joined the Chancellor's office in December of 2016 and is a true champion for students. Like many, he started his higher education journey as a community college student. He attended Golden West College after serving 4 years in the United States Army. Now, he went on to transfer to UC Irvine, where he earned a bachelor's and a master's degree as well. He served in the California Community Colleges system for many years in various roles. And in his most recent position before becoming the chancellor, he served as the Superintendent President of Long Beach City College. So please join me in welcoming Chancellor Eloy Ortiz Oakley.
Well, good morning. It's great to see everyone here. It's a pleasure to be here. It's wonderful to celebrate the great work that happens in our colleges throughout the state, and in particular, to celebrate the great work at Santa Barbara City College and at Bakersfield College. So it's a pleasure and an honor to welcome you to the 19th annual Dr. John W. Rice Award Ceremony. I'd like to just take a few moments and thank some very special guests who are here today. First and foremost, I want to thank and welcome Dr. Condoleezza Rice back to this signature event for the community colleges celebrating the life of her father. Welcome back, Dr. Rice. I also want to thank Assembly members Monique Limon, Vince Fong, Senators Hannah Beth Jackson and Shannon Grove, as well as State Chancellor, I'm already replacing myself. Although, based on yesterday, some people would like to replace me, but nonetheless. State Controller Betty Yee, for providing resolutions and certificates honoring the programs that we are recognizing today. Also want to welcome Assembly members, thank Assembly members Tasha Bordner, as well as Kati Petrie Norris, along with Deputy Cabinet Secretary Jamie Callahan from Governor Newsom's office, Communications Director Christina Montoya from the office of Monique Limon, as well as the legislative aides Jesse Gilgoff and Nina Jossens. Thank you all for being here. Please give them a round of applause. I also want to take a moment to thank all the members of the Board of Governors, and we have many members past and present here today, and of course honoring the memory of Dr. John W. Rice for his service to the California Community Colleges. Please join me in thanking the members of the Board of Governors who are here today. I also want to give a couple of shout-outs. First, to Keitha Mills, the President and CEO of the Foundation for the California Community Colleges. The Foundation's support makes this event possible. Thank you, Keitha, to you and your team. I also want to recognize somebody who's come back to the Rice Awards, somebody very special to me, Terry Carba, who was the Vice Chancellor here and helped organize the Rice Awards several years ago. Thank you, Terry, for being here. And to everyone who came out today, from traveling from across the state to be here to celebrate the great work, the tremendous work of Santa Barbara City College Learn program, as well as Bakersfield College Completion Coaching Communities. Thank you all for coming. So today we celebrate two programs, two very special programs that are making significant contributions to the Vision for Success. The Vision for Success serves as our guiding star, outlines our commitments for not only providing access and affordability to students, but for supporting our students all the way through their educational journey. And when I say all of our students, I mean all of our students, regardless of background, regardless of how they got here, whether they have documented papers, undocumented papers, I don't care where they're from. They are part of the California Community College system, and it is our joy to be able to work with them and guide them all the way through their educational journeys. And you know, we're talking about diversity and equity. What better topic to be celebrating in this day and age, in this week of constant reminders about the challenges we face with diversity and equity in our nation. It's proud. I am so proud to be a Californian right now. So proud to be part of the California Community Colleges. So proud to be part of the legacy of John W. Rice. Today, California is leading the way when we talk about diversity and equity. And yes, we have a long ways to go, a very long way to go. But we are having the right conversations, we are showing the right amount of courage, and we are plowing forward to ensure that we can demonstrate that a diverse state is also a successful and prosperous state. So thank you all for celebrating with us. So, the programs honored today do everything I just mentioned. They highlight these great values of the California Community College system. And they also continue the great work of John W. Rice, who strongly advocated for and believed in diversity and equity. He was a true visionary. His life was built around helping more students succeed, specifically and especially those underrepresented in our system. He believed that when you align hand-in-hand support and as well as the great work that we do in our system, that we can lift up every student. And this aligns great with the Vision for Success and the Guided Pathways initiative. I am beyond proud of the two programs that we're honoring here today. They are leading the way in our system, and I look forward to hearing more from the program shortly. However, before we do that, I want to welcome my boss, one of my bosses, Mr. Tom Epstein, President of the Board of Governors of the California Community Colleges. He is a fierce and steadfast advocate for our students, and it's been a pleasure to work alongside of him over these past few years. Please give a great, warm California Community College welcome to Board of Governors President Tom Epstein.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you, Chancellor Oakley, for your introduction and for your unwavering commitment to the principles epitomized by Dr. Rice that we are celebrating today. It's gratifying to honor the outstanding programs at Santa Barbara City College and Bakersfield College as we pay tribute to the legacy of Dr. Rice. Congratulations to both award recipients. Your work is truly making a difference in the lives of our students. As we learned from the video, Dr. Rice was an extraordinary person. He kept students at the forefront of every conversation and always asked the important question, how will this help our students succeed? He tirelessly advocated for all students, but in particular, for those who need extra support in order to reach their higher education goals. Today, the Board of Governors and our colleges stand united in those same beliefs. Now, more than ever, when division and anxiety are threatening the very fabric of our country, it is critical that we remain dedicated to equity, diversity, and student success, just as Dr. Rice did. I'm proud that our community colleges provide quality education and supportive services to the top 100% of California students. Now, it is my honor to introduce our next speaker, the daughter of Dr. John W. Rice. One of the country's most prominent diplomats, national security experts, and educators, she broke barriers as the first woman to serve as National Security Advisor to the President and the first African-American woman to serve as U.S. Secretary of State. She's a prolific author, and in one of her lesser-known accomplishments, founded a nonprofit organization that provides academic enrichment programs to disadvantaged students across the country. Please join me in welcoming Secretary Condoleezza Rice.
Thank you very much, and I'd like to thank, first of all, thank you, President Epstein, for that wonderful introduction. I'd like to thank all of the government officials who are here from the state. Chancellor Oakley, thank you for your leadership of this great system. And to the members of the Board of Governors, I just want to say that I don't think there was anything my father enjoyed more in his lifetime than being a part of the Board of Governors for the California Community Colleges system. I could always tell because when he got a call saying that they were about to have a meeting, he would kind of grumble and say, yo, you know, I've got to go to Sacramento. But he would right away start calling other people and saying, okay, do we have this on the agenda and that on the agenda? So I know it really stimulated it and made him happy in ways that were really beyond words. So thank you for continuing the great work of the Board of Governors in overseeing this very, very special system. So please join me in giving them a hand because they do very hard work. I would like to bring greetings from my stepmother, Clara Bailey Rice. You saw her on film. I have to say that she would have loved to have been here, but has a few minor, nothing major, health concerns that kept her home this time, but she's always loved being a part of this event. And Christina, thank you for continuing to take away from your busy schedule to be a part of it. My father was indeed a very special man. He believed in faith and family and education. And he believed that everybody should have a chance to make the best of whatever talents they had. One of the reasons that this award, I think, is so aptly named is that he understood that diversity and inclusion were critical to making institutions better and to making the people within them better. He also understood that equity was essential if diversity was to work. And he never fell prey to the notion that equity is just about equal access. He would always say, equal access is great, but not everybody starts at the same access point. And so we have to work very hard to make sure that equal access really does translate into equal opportunity. And he spent his life from the time that he was a high school football coach and athletic director, which is where he met my mother at Fairfield Industrial High School, where their student was Willie Mays, by the way. He did that when he was guidance counselor at Ullman High School in Birmingham, Alabama, and minister at Westminster Presbyterian Church, a church that his father had founded. And in fact, he would go door to door in the government housing behind his church. And he would say, you know, your daughter's smart. I'm going to get her a college scholarship. And these were often for parents who had no idea that their children might go to college. He did it then when he was dean of students at Stillman College, and when he moved to the University of Denver as associate vice chancellor of the University of Denver, he did two things that were really quite remarkable. One was, at that time, I think DU had 10, 12, maybe black students in a student body of almost 10,000. And he said, we've got to diversify this student body. He said, but now I'm going to bring some people into this mix who might not make you comfortable. And indeed he did, because he also started a program called the Black Experience in America. And it was a class that met every Monday night for 2 hours during the winter quarter. And he brought a lot of people who made people uncomfortable. Dick Gregory, Stokely Carmichael, Louis Farrakhan, believe it or not. And his view, by the way, he also brought the Ramsey Lewis trio, but his view was that diversity is a tremendous strength, but we have to get accustomed to one another. We have to respect one another. And by the way, it goes both ways. If you happen to look different than somebody else, it is also your responsibility to bring them into your world in a way that makes it possible for them to accept. Sometimes we think this is a one-way street. Diversity is a two-way street. The other thing about diversity is that it's not just about what makes us different. We should all think about diversity as a way to take our different experiences, our different backgrounds, and turn them into common experiences. And that, in effect, is what education does. It takes people from very, very different backgrounds, very different starting points. People who started with nothing, people who started with a lot. People who had no parents for all intents and purposes, people who had the most loving of parents. People who are good at math and people who are not so good at math. People who write really well and people who don't write really well. But the most important thing is that they are now a part of an educational experience that is going to change them forever. They will never be the same. And in time, they will be more alike than different. And so diversity is a key to the educational experience, but so is the commonality that comes out of the educational experience itself. The United States of America has always been one of those promising places in the world. Now, I don't look at it through rose-colored glasses. I grew up in segregated Birmingham, Alabama. You couldn't go to a movie theater or to a restaurant when I was a kid. But I have watched this hard journey of America, from that America to an America where I stood in front of a portrait of Benjamin Franklin in the Franklin Room at the State Department and took an oath of office to a Constitution that once counted my ancestors as 3/5 of a man. And I took that oath of office administered by a Jewish woman justice named Ruth Bader Ginsburg. This has been a journey, but we need to remember that it is a journey that continues. And we can't slip back, because if you're not going forward, you're almost always going backwards. There is no place to stand. You have to keep moving forward. And in that regard, let's remember that America's strength is that we the people is an inclusive concept. You have never had to be of any particular nationality or any particular color or any particular religious group. At its best, as America made that journey, we the people became more and more inclusive over time. And that strength of the inclusivity of our citizenship is so important to protect and to continue forward with. I was Secretary of State. I was in most of the countries of the world. And in many of those countries, the grievances of 700 years are still well and alive, because people have not found a common way to move forward. Because we the people was an inclusive concept, or has become more inclusive, we were able to do two things. We were able to attract people here from all over the world just to be a part of America's belief that it doesn't matter where you came from, it matters where you're going. You can do the best with what you have, that you can come from humble circumstances and you can do great things. And we attracted them from the wealthiest countries in the world, like Sergey Brin, whose parents brought him here from Russia at 7 years old, and he founds Google. Would never have done it in Russia. And to my mind, the people are just as important to who we are, who came here and crossed borders to make $5, not 50 cents. Because those people had that same spirit that we are going to make it, because in America, it doesn't matter where you came from, it matters where you're going. But we know too, that it's only true that it doesn't matter where you came from, it matters where you're going, if you can get a high-quality education. That is, and that's always been the key. In my family, this is something, an article of faith, and those of you who've heard me before will know this story. My father's father, John Wesley Rice Sr., was actually a sharecropper's son in Utah. That would be E-U-T-A-W. I'm not kidding, Alabama. And when he was a young man, he decided he was going to get book learning in a college. His mother was a freed slave who taught him to read, and he was very bookish. He loved to read. And so he asked how a colored man could go to college. They said, well, there's this little Presbyterian school. It's about 30 miles down the way. You could go there. So he saved up his cotton. He went off to Stillman College in Tuscaloosa. He finished his first year, and after the first year, they said, so how are you going to pay for your second year? He said, I'm out of cotton. They said, you're out of luck. But thinking quickly, he said, so how are those boys going to school? They said, well, you see, they have what's called a scholarship. And if you wanted to be a Presbyterian minister, you could have a scholarship too. My granddaddy said, that's exactly what I had in mind. And my family has been college educated and Presbyterian ever since. John Wesley Rice Sr. knew that that college experience and degree was going to transform him into somebody else he would never otherwise have been. And he knew it was going to transform generations of Rices. And so my father would then become advanced degreed and do the things that he's been able to do. And by the way, my Aunt Teresa would go to the University of Wisconsin, get a PhD in Victorian literature in 1952, and write books on Dickens. You think what I do is weird for a black person? She wrote books on Dickens. That belief in the power of education as transforming, as changing, that belief in the power of education as the armor against all that you might meet, that belief in the power of education to make you the person that you were intended by your Maker to be, that belief in education as the core of a democracy that is not united by ethnicity or religion or nationality, but by a creed. You can come from humble circumstances and you can do great things. I'm so honored to be here with you. I'm so honored that you honor my father each year with this award. I want to thank the foundation and the community college system for continuing this tradition. And I want to thank each and every one of you for your part in the community college system, which I know faces challenges, which I know faces new demands, which I know everybody looks to you to make things work that haven't worked. But when you get up every morning and you think, maybe I'm a little tired, I don't know if I want to go in there today, just remember, without you, this democracy cannot stand. It cannot survive, because a democracy is only as strong as its weakest link. And you are the reason that we give people a chance to be a strong foundation instead. Thank you very much.
We would like to thank Dr. Rice for the very important words that she just gave us. We'd also like to present this to you, a gift, a token of thanks. I wasn't going to make you climb the stairs once again.
Oh, I know our photographer, he's going to insist, yeah.
Now that she's had to do the stairs 3 or 4 times. Thank you so much, Dr. Rice. Your father, obviously an incredible man, your family, an incredible family, and the legacy lives on as we honor the community college system today and his life. He would be proud of the words that were just spoken. And we'd like to keep his legacy alive through annually honoring outstanding individual and team efforts. And that is why we are here today for a celebration that will certainly be remembered. Before we move on to our winners, though, I wanted to take a quick moment to review the award selection process. Now, every spring, multiple colleges send in proposals to the California Community College's Chancellor's Office. A panel of volunteer readers then come in, they assemble to review the nominations, they select the winners. And this year, the competition, I should say, was fierce. There were 9 outstanding proposals that were submitted, and I am excited to now introduce to you the award winners and, of course, have them share a little information about all of their efforts and what they've been doing. So first, let's start with the Diversity and Equity Award. This is the first award that's being presented this morning, and we are pleased to honor Santa Barbara City College's Leaders for Equity, Anti-Racism, and Reparations Now program known as LEARN. We'd like to invite Dr. Elizabeth Imhoff and Alexandra Montes de Oca for the program to come up to share with us all of the good work that they're doing and how the program is helping students reach their educational goals. Let's give them a big round of applause.
Hello and good morning. My name is Alexandra Montes de Oca, the current Associated Student Government President of Santa Barbara City College and third-year neuroscience major. 5 years ago, I was the first one in my family to attend college when I enrolled at Westmont College. I was freshly 18, living with roommates I've never met before in a brand new city 2 hours away from my family. I found myself in a sea of students who saw my differences and ostracized me because I did not fit into their set of ideal friends. To them, not only did I look different, as I ran around wearing Hot Topic fashion and sporting fluffy blue hair, but because I was blunt and real and did not agree to live with them in their comfortable bubble. I was judged and categorized. The students in that environment constructed my identity for me, and it was an identity that made me feel worse about myself every day. During my 3 years there, I was told college is the time for finding your own identity and making lifelong friends. But I only found loneliness and the idea that the world is better off without me, and all I saw in my future was not living past 21. I found solace in one faculty member, my academic advisor, who was always unjudgmental, listening and seeing me as a unique individual. He accepted all of my differences and showed me that my differences were in fact my strong points. It only takes one person who sees you as a unique individual to keep someone from giving up on everything. I left that institution 3 years ago and found myself where I am now, Santa Barbara City College. Today, I'm here to do something about the students that feel the way I did back then. For me, it took one faculty member. I believe that there could be more than one faculty member to make that difference. And training faculty members and student leaders to excel in this role is the mission of Leaders for Equity, Anti-Racism, and Reparations Now. Learn. The fact of the matter is that racism, inequity, and stereotypes exist on campus grounds, but we can all work towards eliminating them so that all students can thrive and feel significant. I am proud to be here now, telling this room that this is one of my main goals at Santa Barbara City College's student body president, to ensure that no student feels the way I did all those years ago. Because as innate social creatures, this is what we evolved to do, to feel like we belong. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexandra, for illustrating the importance of the mission of SBCC's Learn Committee. Leaders for Equity, Anti-Racism, and Reparations Now, or LEARN, is a grassroots committee comprised of a variety of stakeholders from across Santa Barbara City College who came together after independently expressing frustration about the lack of impactful diversity and inclusion training on our campus and the myriad problems that students, faculty, and staff of color experience due to this lack. The committee members' decision to call ourselves Leaders for Equity, Anti-Racism, and Reparations Now, a bold name that has turned some heads, was an intentional choice meant to clearly and precisely declare our mission. I'll break down each part of our mission by briefly explaining what the acronym means to our committee. Leaders for Equity. The committee members immediately recognized that campus efforts toward developing equity-based programs and pedagogy could not reach their full potential until we address the larger context of systemic racism in our society and on our campus, and offered our colleagues the opportunity through training to deeply understand the nature of systemic oppression. Anti-racism. Before the establishment of LEARN, the focus of our campus equity training had been in celebration of diversity. While this is important, diversity training does not get to the heart of the structural basis of racism. LEARN's Envision training model empowers SBCC faculty, administrators, and staff to be versed in the many forms of systemic oppression so they can act as effective and well-informed advocates, allies, and partners to our students as we actively work together to dismantle oppressive systems. And Reparations Now. As a result of the efforts of LEARN, by the end of the coming fall semester, more than 150 members of our faculty, staff, and administration will have experienced foundational anti-racism training and will be invited into SBCC's anti-racism community, our ongoing forum committed to anti-racism work. In the coming year, our anti-racism community will lead us through an institutional equity audit with the goal of initiating policy change that will begin to right the system not only in word, but in sanctioned practice. On behalf of the LEARN Committee, we would like to thank the Rice Awards Committee for this prestigious award and for validating the importance of anti-racism work. We would also like to acknowledge how honored we are to be in the presence of the national and state leaders and everyone who are assembled here today. Finally, I would like to recognize the members of our committee: Tomas Carrasco, Annette Cordero, Ana Garcia, Vandana Gavaskar, Luis Geraldo, Christopher Johnson, Carrie Hutchinson, Clara Oropeza, Joshua Ramirez, and Armando Ramos for their tireless and all too often thankless efforts to lead SBCC to act and to do right. Thank you.
One more big round of applause for Santa Barbara City College. Dr. Imhoff and Alexandra as well. Congratulations. Our Student Success Award is the second and final honor of the morning. So please join me in giving a warm round of applause to winners Stephen Walken and Samantha Polito from the Completion Coaching Communities Program at Bakersfield College.
Good morning. My name is Samantha Polito, and I am the 2019-2020 Bakersfield College Student Government Association President. Today I am honored to represent the 37,000 Bakersfield College students who have been direct beneficiaries of the work being recognized today. Although I was not yet a student at Bakersfield College in the early phases of the Guided Pathways implementation, I have seen firsthand the impact of BC's Guided Pathways implementation and the value of the completion coaching communities in streamlining pathways to completion and transfer. I found my way to Bakersfield College when a team of BC advisors and staff visited my high school. They worked with our high school counselors to help identify our majors, register for a full load of courses, including, of course, transfer level English and math, and ensure we transition smoothly from high school to college through summer bridge. While attending BC, my faculty connected me with the Office of Student Life, where I met my inspiring advisor, Dr. Nikki Damania, who encouraged me to get involved in activities that would enhance my in-class learning. And the rest is history. As a representative of the student body, I'm a listening ear to students who are struggling to navigate college, but I can confidently say that BC's faculty, staff, and administration are fully committed to removing barriers and supporting students in accomplishing their goals. Acknowledging Bakersfield College's efforts to advance equitable student outcomes with the Dr. John W. Rice Award not only honors the work of the faculty and staff, but it honors the contributions of BC students in creating the rigorous and supportive learning environment that makes BC the best college in the country. Thank you.
Thank you, Samantha. Good morning, colleagues and friends. I'm Stephen Walken, Director of Outreach and Early College at Bakersfield College. I'm honored to represent Bakersfield College as we receive this prestigious honor in the name of Dr. John W. Rice, a champion for equal opportunity, student equity, and student success. When I joined BC 5 years ago, the executive leadership team asked me to build a robust outreach program in the community. 5 years later, we are reaching more students than ever before, with an over 40% increase in the number of students enrolling at the college. In that same period, we have engaged fully as a college in an institutional redesign using the Guided Pathways framework. Through this framework, we have seen whole college gains in student achievement and completion. As I prepared my remarks for today, I found myself reflecting on the conditions that have facilitated our success and about the people we have helped to create them. I thought about the vision of our president, Dr. Sonia Christian, about the courage of our faculty and staff, about the commitment of our students. This trifecta, bold vision, courageous leadership, and unwavering commitment, has served as Bakersfield College's steady guide as we navigate the uncharted waters of the innovation to advance equitable outcomes for all students. Make no mistake, the work has not been easy. Tensions develop in those uncharted waters. Yet, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. described in his 1963 letter from a Birmingham jail that growth and change happen in the presence of constructive tension. Changes like more Black and Latinx students than ever before enrolling at Bakersfield College. Changes like improved completion and transfer rates for Black and Latinx students. Changes like a 30% increase in the number of Black students completing transfer level math in year 1. Changes like changes like a 340% increase in Black students completing transfer level English in year 1. These changes fundamentally altered the trajectory for thousands of historically marginalized students. Bakersfield College vision for a more equitable community, one in which we acknowledge disparities in access and opportunity and address them head-on, is what serves as our guiding moral compass. On behalf of Bakersfield College, I am proud to accept the Dr. John W. Rice Award. After over 30 years of service in higher education, I understand fully the gravity of this recognition and assure you that we at BC will embrace this honor as a call to action on behalf of the 37,000 Central Valley students. We are BC! Thank you.
Thank you so much, and congratulations to Bakersfield College as well. Please, everyone, give a final round of applause to the distinguished guests, to all of their speakers, and our exceptional award recipients today. They should all be very proud of themselves and be proud of yourselves for the work that's being done here in the state of California. This concludes the 2019 Dr. John W. Rice Awards ceremony. A big thank you once again to all who helped to make this happen today, especially Keitha Mills. Thank you so much, Keitha, and your team at the Foundation for California Community Colleges. Without the Foundation's generous support, this event, of course, would not be possible, so thank you so much. Thank you also to the staff here at the Crocker Art Museum, to 3C Media and Metro Media for the use of the facilities and technical support as well. And we sure hope that this event has inspired you to continue the great work of Dr. John W. Rice at your college and in your community as well. It's been a beautiful day for me, and I feel quite inspired, so I hope you feel the same. So thank you again so much for coming, and have a beautiful day.